Did you know that Pope Pius XII saved 860,000 Jews from the Nazi Holocaust during World War II? He also excommunicated the Nazis and Catholics who participated in Nazi activity. While the rest of the world has largely forgotten about it, the Catholic Church still remembers and keeps a record of all those good Catholics who gave their lives to save Jews from the Nazis. These are just some of the many examples of individual Catholics who saved Jews during the Holocaust. In 1935, Pope Pius XII addressed a letter to the Catholic hierarchy of Germany, Austria, and Czechoslovakia, instructing them to do everything in their power to protect the Jews. In 1938, the Pope allowed Catholic schools and universities to admit Jewish students, many of whom had been expelled from their homes and were now homeless, and he established a Catholic welfare organization to help care for Jewish refugees fleeing the Nazis. When the war began, the Pope continued to speak out against the persecution of Jews. In 1942, he made a public statement comparing the fate of the Jews to the Passion of Christ, saying, "What a terrible thing it is to make a people suffer for no reason, to persecute them for no crime, to heap upon them misfortune and misery for no fault of their own." In 1943, after the Wannsee Conference, which coordinated the deportation of Jews to death camps, the Pope instructed Catholic leaders to do everything possible to save the Jews, stating, "All must do their utmost to hinder the execrable plans of the enemies of the Jews." And so, despite the tremendous risk to their own safety, Catholic priests, nuns, and laypeople across Europe began to take Jews into their homes, hiding them in convents, monasteries, and underground shelters. They forged documents for them, providing false baptismal certificates or other papers that would allow them to travel safely. They also risked their own lives to smuggle food and medicine into ghettos and hiding places. By the end of the war, Catholic charities in Germany alone had saved an estimated 860,000 Jews. This was more than the combined efforts of all other countries. In addition to saving Jews, the Pope also excommunicated the Nazis and Catholics who participated in Nazi activity. He established a special tribunal to try members of the clergy for crimes against the Church and the state. Hundreds of German and Austrian priests, nuns, and Catholic laymen were tried and sentenced to death for collaborating with the Nazis and for crimes against humanity. After the war, the Pope rehabilitated the reputation of the Catholic Church by emphasizing the heroism of those Catholics who had saved Jews during the Holocaust. He called them righteous among the nations and established an order of knighthood to honor them. The Catholic Church has never forgotten the heroism of these individuals or the tragedy of the Holocaust, and we should remember and thank them for their service.